Welcome back. Um, we'll just take a quick look at this White Star that we did last week. This is probably the most challenging one that we've been in. Uh, Props to the Star League. We had a lot of fun. They were extremely well organized, and I think just a little over aggressiveness on their part um, caused their caused their downfall. I don't think it was too big of a deal. They seemed to be in good spirits throughout the game, and we both made some fantastic plays. There's two main battles that are going on. Of course, the North and South are usually how it's divided. I've got a level 10 on either side of the star itself. This is a 10 versus 10. Standard strategy on our part is several battleships running battery and Omega Shield, usually at like a 70%. Um, like you burn 30% of it off before you jump in, is typically what we try to do. Um, and that just allows us to try to time when we're gonna be able to reactivate it. Sometimes we get lucky and mid battle we our shield repops and we can get a new one. That's always nice. Um, these these guys, I can't talk about how well organized they are properly without being in their head. I didn't get to see their chats. I know that their corporation requires Discord, which is always good. My biggest compliment is to their initial spread. They they pretty much mirrored what we do, which is fan out. I gripe and gripe about other corporations just bunching up, trying to protect their support. You can't protect your support bunched up inside the same sector. You got to get out and get away from them and guard your line. I will say that their assassin, which is usually a battleship with a delta shield and mass battery and either teleport or impulse or some combination of quick moving mods. I will say that he kind of messed up. He saw us clearly heading in his direction and made a long sector jump, and that's what ended up killing him. But he did a good job of distracting our corporation down in the south, and if the rest of their guys hadn't panicked, I think they would have been able to make a stronger push. But I totally get why they did what they did. Um, Anyways, let's see what happens. I haven't watched this in a few days, and I can't remember. I know he jumps across. Yeah, right there. We have a dedicated assassin hunter, so he's got delta, but he's got battery, so he can put out more damage. He's got barrier to lock him up, teleport to keep up with him, and destiny is just like a well, if I can't kill him, then I'll go find your supports and kill that guy. Um, so here we go. I think he drops down and then he tries to teleport, trying to get to our supports, and it doesn't. I mean, it works, but you see, we've got one, two, three, four, five, six battleships in the immediate area, and what are these two doing? I'm not really sure. They could have come in to help, and then brought this guy in to support as like a line of defense, but that didn't happen. They just kind of left their guys high and dry. I'm not sure what the conversation was, but um, it wasn't going to work with all these guys right on him. So they he tries to he tries to barrier, which is a good idea. Um, but we get the EMP off right as he lands on the planet, which protects our transport. And then the rest of our guys are, they've already assigned their teleport in, and they just beat him to a pulp. I mean, it wasn't really a fair fight to begin with, but he didn't get any value out of going out there on a limb. And then down here you see this battleship actually destinied from the north side of the map. He didn't like the way the battle was turning and he rolled the dice, and he landed in a good spot. Maybe one more sector over he could have caused some real trouble. But our guys, we got lots of compliments from the other team. We coordinate our attacks. All these responses are usually within 30 minutes of something happening. So this battleship popped Destiny, landed in this sector, and we immediately turned and engaged him. Maybe not all of our guys respond that quickly, but enough out of the 10 get to him to stop any serious damage. Okay, now this is about 2 days in. Yeah, 2 days in, and you see this panic going on back here. Let's back up back to the beginning. Okay, back to the beginning, and let's see what's going on up north, because that's where the rest of the fun was happening. We were able to take advantage of the situation in the north and really put a lot of pressure on the other team. And I think that's really, other than killing the assassin, that's really what allowed us to win. Is we were able to put so much pressure on the north side that they had to back off. They had to backtrack. You see their concentration. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all up in the north side. And one of our strategies is to use a lot of rockets. Once we think someone's going in that direction, we're just going to bombard it. If you don't use rockets, it's not a winning strategy. You need to have a couple supports hanging out in the back, lobbing rockets at whatever opportunity is closest. As soon as these two battleships committed to this planet, it was actually my ship that was closest and able to teleport. I teleported in, and then you can see we timed it pretty well. The rockets are just coming in, and they make short work of anybody in the area. Okay, now what caused the panic is this guy. He's got duels, he's got destiny, he's got teleport and barrier. And to be really honest, I wouldn't want him going into my section either. Looking at what they have available, they have a battleship that's, I guess, just extra time warp. I would probably swap that out for EMP to avoid something like this in the future. That's what caused the panic. As soon as he gets away out of that barrier, you can see that in their time machine they're seeing a bunch of disaster happening, and so they're making their move back to the gate in panic mode. We also have one of our guys. He got lucky on his destiny and popped right next to their gate, and it made them panic. And I think the panic was justified. Unfortunately, it just hurt them as far as being able to get the relics that they needed. This encounter right here was interesting. We actually talked about it on Discord with each other. The issue is if one of us is trapped on the edge of the barrier and we both have the same level barrier, can we trap each other? And the answer is yes, as we'll find out. He tries to get away. I'm on the edge of his barrier, making my way in, and I launch my barrier and trap him. And we've got, of course, like a million rockets heading his way, and he's right to try to get away. I don't see anything wrong with his using barrier. I think maybe we didn't understand the technicals, and this learning experience was costly for this. We took this level 10, and there was nothing he could really do about it. I thought the play was a good one. I didn't know how it would pan out either, but it was a good learning experience. So for future reference, if you have the same level barrier and you're on the edge, you can trap the other guy. And that, yeah, that's that's how that played out. So now we're in the what I like to call the end game. We're harvesting relics, dropping off hydrogen, trying to get it all done. You can see if I back up our field presence, I think we might have enough rockets. I'm not sure. But anyway, our goal always, if we can demoralize the other team, that would be perfect because that ruins their their desire to fight, and that makes it easier for us to seal the deal. But if we can at least pin them near their gate, that works too. So this is all done through Discord. We could never, if you saw our White Star chat in game, there's almost nothing there. Maybe a couple pings on where to go, where we just need something visual. Everything else is done on Discord. All these plans. So we killed one transport. I got 3 battleships coming after one guy. Another guy teleporting in. Where did he come from? I didn't catch it. I think he came from the planet. We've got our other assassin coming in hot. He takes care of two supports, a miner and a transport. I'm not sure why he stayed where he stayed. I think maybe he saw the barrier and just decided to stay put. Anyways, our duels, the one that caused the initial panic, tried to make a play, and I think these guys they outnumbered him and outmodded him. Yeah, he destinied to try to get out, and it just, man, that's so frustrating. Everything in the time machine looked good until the other team, they once your moves are in, they can fiddle with it and try to make it play in their favor. But that's okay. I think we killed about 6 of their supports before they regrouped, and at that point it was already too late. We had already dropped our hydrogen, and we had the time and the manpower to get our relics back. As you know, if you're killed in a White Star, it takes 18 hours and then you can come back. And a couple of our first ones, we learned that the hard way. We won the initial encounter, and instead of backing up and holding our ground, we just thought the game was won, not knowing that we were in for a nightmare. So here he comes back again after 18 hours, and he is on a mission this time. He's focused, and we we tried for so long to kill this guy, and he got all the way to our gate. Fortunately, with no losses on our side. I don't think. Maybe one, but I don't think it had anything on it. I think it was just an empty transport. But I can't say enough that if you're using rockets or playing against somebody with rockets and someone makes a long committed jump, this guy's crossing 2 whole sectors from the gate, and he has teleport, but he didn't use it in time. Like, he can see from the minute he jumps that there's rockets coming, and they're all heading straight for where he's going. And when you're in the time machine, you can even click and see 10 hours, and he's got 10 hours to get there and get out of the way. Um, so that's I would just avoid it. We try not to bleed our whole sectors out. Like they got all their hydrogen out. I don't like that tactic. It does create a good defense, but it also limits you on your ability to push back out into the map to try to create some offense. So this guy just causes us all kinds of stress. He's got time warp like 10 or 12 or something. Okay, time warp 7. He's got time warp 7, delta shield 8, and he is just hauling. And we're scratching our head and trying to figure out what we were going to do. And basically, we're just trying to minimize the damage because there's nothing, we can't stop him as long as he keeps moving. We have to try to hold him still to get him to stop getting us. And he's so good. He's so, he is like, I bet he's a champ at Blue Stars. He he manages to stay right out of targeting range of one of our guys teleporting, and then I think he pops a barrier to keep him out of the way. Such a good job. Yeah, he uses barrier to stop our EMP. We had that one plugged into the time machine, ready to wrap it up, and he wiggles out, gets away from all the rockets that were heading his direction, and then he did a really good job. We really thought we were going to lose this transport, but I think we managed to squeak it out. Yeah, his barrier, he lost his barrier, and now we just kind of returned the favor. Yeah, got him trapped in the barrier. Super close call. He almost made it. That would have made the game a lot closer. But our guys, we reworked our strategy, dropped the rockets, and put up a barrier ring, and just continuously put that out there. And once we did that, the game was pretty much over at that point. Once you can keep him trapped there, he can't really do anything. We had a lot of fun. This was an interesting, probably the most fun we've had in a White Star. The other team was very well organized. I can't say it enough. Very satisfying win. I'm sorry that we won against you, but we did have fun. I enjoyed it, and I think our corporation members feel the same way. I hope you enjoy these videos. I know my speech is not the best. Lots of ums and uhs, and I'm very conscious of them. I don't have a way to get around it at the moment. If if you want to see more of these, I do have more on the channel, but it's not really that important to me. I like breaking down these White Stars and seeing what could have been done different. In this case, I think the assassin was a little too aggressive in both cases, and I feel like they overreacted on their defense, and they bled their hydrogen fills completely dry, which is ultimately what defeated them. Those three things: backing off when they should have pushed, their assassin being a little too aggressive, and bleeding those hydrogen fields to where they were susceptible to our rockets. I'll just fast forward. I'll let y'all see the big picture one more time, and then we'll call it. Hope everyone had a Merry Christmas. I finally got all my millions of kids back asleep, and hopefully they let me sleep because I have to work in the morning. And if you didn't have a Merry Christmas, send me a message. We'll see if we can scrounge up some gifts and send them out to you. No one should have a bad holiday season. There you go. All right. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it.